Ryan Parker never answered unknown numbers. Not anymore. Too many spam calls. Too many scams. So when his phone rang at 2:17 a.m. on a Tuesday night, he ignored it immediately. The number was hidden. No caller ID. No location. Nothing. The phone rang for 12 seconds. Stopped. Then a voicemail appeared. Ryan rolled his eyes. Probably another robot call. He placed the phone back on the nightstand and went to sleep. The next morning, while getting ready for work, he played the message. At first he thought it was empty. Only static. Then breathing. Heavy breathing. Someone sounded terrified. Running. A man's voice finally spoke. A familiar voice. His voice. Ryan froze. The recording continued. Listen carefully. Static. Then. You don't have much time. Ryan replayed the voicemail 3 times. It was definitely him. Same voice. Same tone. Same everything. Then came the strangest part. The timestamp. The voicemail claimed it had been left next Tuesday. 7 days in the future. Ryan laughed. Some kind of phone bug. Had to be. But the message kept bothering him. Especially the final sentence. Before ending, his future self whispered, "Don't go into the subway on Friday." That was all. No explanation. No details. Nothing. Ryan tried forgetting about it. But over the next few days, strange things began happening. Things from the voicemail started coming true. Small things. Future Ryan mentioned a coffee spill. It happened. He mentioned a power outage in his office. It happened. Then he mentioned a coworker named Mark breaking his wrist. On Thursday afternoon, Mark slipped down a staircase. Broken wrist. Exactly as described. Ryan stopped laughing after that. Friday arrived. And he couldn't stop thinking about the warning. Don't go into the subway. At 6 p.m. he stood outside the station entrance. Heart racing. Part of him wanted to ignore everything. Another part remembered every prediction. In the end, curiosity won. He entered anyway. Nothing happened. People filled the station. Normal crowds. Normal sounds. Normal evening. Ryan almost felt stupid. Then every light in the station shut off. Instantly. Darkness. Screaming followed. Emergency lights activated seconds later. Red illumination filled the tunnels. Passengers looked confused. Workers rushed around. Then Ryan heard something. A voice. Coming from deeper inside the tunnel. Calling his name. Ryan! He turned. Nobody. Again. Ryan! The voice sounded identical to his own. Then he saw someone standing on the tracks. A man. Wearing Ryan's clothes. Watching him. Smiling. The lights returned. The figure disappeared. Gone. As if never there. Ryan immediately left the station. That night another voicemail arrived. 2:17 a.m. Unknown number. Same voice. His voice. This time future Ryan sounded worse. Exhausted. Panicked. Good. Heavy breathing. You listened. Static interrupted briefly. Then. But it's changing. Ryan sat upright. The message continued. The timeline is changing. A loud crash echoed in the background. Future Ryan sounded terrified. Then he whispered, "Someone else knows." The voicemail ended. Over the next week the calls continued. Always at 2:17 a.m. Always from the future. Each message arrived exactly 7 days before it was supposedly recorded. Each warning became darker. More desperate. More specific. Future Ryan described accidents. Disappearances. People vanishing without explanation. Eventually he mentioned a location. An abandoned telephone exchange outside the city. According to Future Ryan, everything started there. The calls. The timeline changes. The thing following him. Ryan decided to investigate. Saturday afternoon he drove to the location. The building stood alone near a field. Abandoned. Boarded windows. Rust covering every surface. Yet somehow, the power lines remained connected. Ryan entered through a broken side door. Inside he found old switching equipment. Dust. Darkness. Silence. Then a phone rang. A single landline phone sitting on a desk. Ryan froze. The ringing continued. Slow. Patient. Waiting. Eventually he answered. Silence. Then breathing. Heavy breathing. The same breathing from the voicemails. Future Ryan spoke. But this time he sounded terrified. Leave. Ryan gripped the receiver tighter. What is happening? For several seconds only static answered. Then, it can hear both of us. The line crackled violently. Future Ryan continued. The calls aren't coming from me. Ryan felt cold. Ice cold. What? Static. Then, it learned my voice. The phone line died. Silence returned. Ryan slowly turned around and saw another phone across the room. Ringing. Then another. And another. Suddenly dozens of abandoned telephones began ringing simultaneously. The entire building filled with noise. Ryan backed away. Every phone eventually stopped. Except one. A black phone near the far wall. Still ringing. Ryan approached carefully. Answered. A different voice spoke. Not Ryan. Not human. Something else. Thank you for answering. The line disconnected. Ryan ran. He left the building immediately. That night the voicemail arrived early. 1:58 a.m. Future Ryan sounded injured. Weak. As if he had been running for hours. You answered it. Ryan's heart sank. Future Ryan kept talking. You weren't supposed to answer. Something growled in the background. Low. Animalistic. Then, it knows where you are now. The voicemail ended. The next few days became a nightmare. Unknown numbers called constantly. Hundreds of calls. Every hour. Every minute. Ryan stopped answering. But the voicemails kept arriving. Sometimes empty. Sometimes containing only breathing. Sometimes his own voice begging for help. Then one message changed everything. Future Ryan finally explained. The calls weren't traveling through time. They were traveling through timelines. Somewhere in another version of reality, another Ryan had discovered something inside the telephone exchange. Something that shouldn't exist. Something trapped. And every call created a connection. A doorway. The more calls answered, the stronger the connection became. Ryan listened to the message in complete silence. Then came the final warning. Future Ryan whispered. If you receive a call tonight. Long pause. Then, do not answer yourself. The voicemail ended. At exactly 2:17 a.m. the phone rang. Unknown number. Ryan stared at the screen. Heart pounding. The call continued. 20 seconds. 30. Then it stopped. Voicemail arrived immediately. Hands shaking, Ryan opened it. The message began instantly. No static. No delay. Just his own voice. Calm. Smiling. Ryan! A chill ran through his body. The voice continued. You've been listening to the wrong version. Then another voice interrupted. Future Ryan. Screaming. Begging. Don't listen to him. The recording descended into chaos. Two identical voices arguing. Fighting. One warning him. One inviting him. Then both stopped. Silence. A final sentence appeared. Spoken by something else entirely. A voice unlike anything human. We found the right one. The voicemail ended. Ryan never slept again. The next morning his apartment phone rang. Disconnected. Yet ringing. His laptop rang. His television rang. Even devices that couldn't make calls began ringing. Every screen displayed the same incoming number. Unknown. Ryan smashed most of them. It didn't help. The ringing continued. Days passed. Then weeks. Neighbors reported hearing phones ringing inside his apartment even when the power was shut off. Nobody saw Ryan leave. Nobody saw visitors enter. Eventually, police performed a welfare check. The apartment was empty. No sign of Ryan. No evidence of violence. Nothing. Except dozens of disconnected phones arranged throughout the apartment. Every receiver placed carefully beside each other. And according to the police report, when investigators entered the apartment, every phone rang at the exact same moment. For exactly 7 seconds. Then stopped. The case remains unsolved. But internet users occasionally report receiving strange voicemails from unknown numbers. The recordings always begin the same way. Heavy breathing. Static. Then a frightened man speaking. Trying desperately to warn them. Most people delete the message. Some listen. And a few claim that if you keep listening long enough, you eventually hear a second voice join the call. Your own. Asking a simple question. Can you hear me? And if you answer, the calls never stop.